Oh, Lordy, no trouble so hard. Oh, Lordy, no trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Oh, Lordy, no trouble so hard. Oh, Lordy, no trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Yes, I went down there the other day. My soul was a happy because she don't me. I went down there the other day. My soul was a happy because she don't me. Oh Lord, and our trouble so hard. Oh Lord, and our trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. And I went up that hill again today. My soul was a happy good to stay all day. But I went to my room and did stay long. Looked at the bed and my brother was there. Oh Lord, you know trouble so hard. Oh Lord, you know trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
Well. We are back again. Hopefully, we're back again. We should be, right? But me and technology, what can I say? Sometimes, most times, me and technology, no, not great. You wouldn't think it. Well, maybe wouldn't think it. Being born in 87, raised through the technology boom, basically, if you like. I mean, wow. If you think back to technology then in the 80s, 90s to now, I guess it's been some increase. So you'd expect me to be half decent at work in technology, but that is not the case. But we should be going. Do you know, I think because I've been away for about a week, I forgot how to work anything. Do you know that? You'll probably know when you've got about a week or say 2 weeks on holiday and you go back to work and you forget what you're doing. Is that just me? Maybe just me, right? Probably. So, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you are in this absolutely insane world that we live in. Yikes. Where do you even begin? Anybody? I'm hoping we're okay for audio because I've got wires everywhere and I don't like the wires crossing. Not like in a OCD sense, because definitely not that, but I know sometimes they can interfere with the mic. Well, I think that anyway. So I'm probably wrong, but so I'm hoping we're all good. So I'll jump into the chat and yeah, a laid back catch up tonight. Show you where I'm at. Show you where I'm gonna be. A few things to kind of update on. Nothing major. Just in terms of where the next stream, what the next streams are going to be, and I guess where I'm at. Well, started college again this week, so yeah, quite busy. And yeah, the last term that I done, I mean, yeah, I did pass. I passed it, but probably just just and no more by the skin of my bloody lip, right? We'll go with that. It was like, I don't know, I felt like maybe I felt like I maybe never put enough time in as I should have. But I also feel that I never had as much time as I would have wanted. But this time around, I want to try and be prepared and not leave work until, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week. And then it builds up and it builds up. So when you've got to do it, it's like, fuck, too much, right? Then it gets too much, and I guess you'd probably get to the point where you think, well, what's the point? I may as well give up now. So, I mean, it's quite a technical course. So, yeah, I'll see how I get on. Hey, I'm going to try my best. So, I started this week. And it's been quite interesting already. And do you know, it was quite funny because on what day was it? Monday. On the Monday, the first lesson that we had, you had to go on your computer. So it was online teaching, basically. They've not got rid of it completely. Some of it has become hybrid. So, and I mean, to be fair, I don't mind it at home. It's not too bad. You can kind of sit back and do your own thing, right? But personally, I would prefer to be there in person, physically, hands on, and asking questions. I mean, you can do that anyway, but it's not the same. So on Monday, the course I'm on is higher national certificate, sort HNC. Just below the diploma. So it's an HNC, not an HND, which would be diploma. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, if we get there. But I had been sent by mistake the HND link for their class. And so I went on it and I sat in for about 10 minutes on a HND lesson, diploma. And in the first 10 minutes I was there, I mean, I knew I was going to be sent the correct link, but I hung around for a wee bit just out of curiosity. I was kind of being nosy, if you like. But by the sounds of it, it is mainly centered on United Nations Sustainability Program. Lock, stock and barrel, all about that. And even the course I'm on, there's a big part of it related to that. And it was interesting on the either the Monday or the Tuesday, because the whole horticulture learning in Scotland sort of gets together. So the whole HNC from all parts of Scotland are online being taught at the same time. So in the class that we're in, there's about 40, I don't know, not more than 45 people. So that's quite interesting. And there's a lot of, straight away, you could tell there was a lot of mixed opinion on climate change, global warming, and the stuff that they're trying to bring in relation to sustainability. That's the big claim, right? Even in getting into the likes of the global warming, one guy was quite interesting. It's a big scam, he said. It's a big con. And I thought, yeah, well, this guy, he knows the score, right? He's not in my college. He's, I think, in Perth or about there. But he's right. He's right as well. So a lot of that stuff, I'm going to have to kind of maybe bite my tongue about it. But with me being me, I'm likely going to have one or two things to say. But yeah, I'm a bit cautious when I'm at the college in regards to what I say, but I'm quite good at getting it out of other people, which sounds terrible, right? But I can usually, by saying one or two things, get a good grasp of what they think about, well, maybe, for example, climate change and global warming, or what is it? It's global boiling now, right? Yeah, even though it's cold here, but it wasn't today. It was quite warm and it was great. I loved it. Not a chemtrail in the sky. It was beautiful. And yeah, they talked about, we had an interesting conversation about global warming, and the fact that seemingly there's a study or a paper, I think from Harvard or some university, and it talks about how if the carbon that we put out, say from factories and driving and eating all the bacon rolls, right? All that stuff that we've put out, all the pollution, what they reckon is that it's been keeping the planet cooler than what it would have been without the pollution. And I mean, people still don't see how insane it is. Because when you add to that the fact that they want to, again, add more particles and toxins to the atmosphere to further, again, seemingly cool down the planet. But so what they're doing is fixing the problem with the problem. And it's complete insanity. People don't even see it for how insane it is. To think that actually maybe, well, kind of already are getting away with it is quite staggering. I mean, how did we get here? How did they pull it off? How did we get to the position that we're in? I was on a live stream on, what was it, Sunday night, on the channel No Chance, another Scottish guy. It was a great stream. I enjoyed it. Probably spent most of it listening, but I was quite busy as well. So I was multitasking, if you like. But I don't know if the stream got a strike or someone never liked it. I'm hoping, hey, maybe it was something I said. I don't know. I mean, that wouldn't be unheard of for me, but I thought it was a good stream, and I don't know. I did share it, but I think it's removed or it's private now. So that was the last time I was on, and yeah, it was good. It's good to be on another channel because it's a bit more laid back. You don't have to keep an eye on everything. Shows how technically lazy I am, right? So I was on there on Sunday night. Then on this Saturday, I'm going to be on here on my, well, not here, kind of here, but not here. On my original channel, I'm going to be on. And we should be on with the guy, Jerry, that I've been talking about, who I can't pronounce his second name. which is terrible. But again, that's me, right? I don't want to butcher it. But we're getting Jerry on, an expert in his field, mainly dealing with psychiatric patients in USA. And I mean, it was a stream that, just to kind of put people in the picture, I guess, had been maybe set up or put together by me and John maybe, and John Davidson, our brother John. And yeah, John's still a bit unwell, which is not great. So, I mean, my heart goes out to John. He's trying his best, and we've all got a lot of time and respect for John. So, I wish him all the best, but John's not up to it. So, now, John, I found this. John told me yesterday or the day before, and the stream is booked in for this Saturday. So I kind of feel like I can't. Jerry's a busy man, and he's not a guy. It's me that set it up, and I can't fuck the guy about. I'm not doing it. It's not me. I said I would. He would be on a stream, and that's what's going to happen. So I think it's a bit late to pull out. I don't think it would look good. I don't think it would be. I don't know. I just don't think it would be right. So what I do is I grab the bull by the horns and I take the lead with it. So on Saturday we'll get Jerry on, and I believe the backbone of YouTube, our English brother, Sensum, the man of many talents, right? Loves a naan bread and a curry or two. Sensum Mohammed is he's hopefully now I tried to get a hold of him, but I can't. People say I'm terrible to get a hold of. Fucking hell. Try getting a hold of Sensum, right? So I reckon Sensum's going to be kind enough to come on, and he knows a wee bit about the guy, which is great. And if our brother Scott's armor is also still available, he's likely going to come on. Well, he's welcome on anyway, and I've spoke to Scott's already. I kind of would like to speak to Scott's and Sensum before Saturday together, if possible, to sort of get a bit of an idea as to what we're going to do. But hey, it's going to go ahead anyway. And when John's better in good time, we can. I'm pretty sure, as long as I don't annoy Jerry, I'm pretty sure Jerry's going to be willing to come back, and we can stream it from John's channel quite easily. I mean, I'm saying streaming it from mine. We could, if Sensum wanted, we could stream it from his, or if Scott's wanted, I'd be more than willing to stream it from his, and they can take the lead, right? But of course, I was the guy who set it up, so I feel like I've got a wee bit of responsibility. Can we say that? But we're going with that, right? Whatever that is. Who knows? Who knows in this day and age? So a bit of a laid back one tonight. I don't know how long we're going to go. It's been a busy few days for me, but it's been great. The weather's been great. It really helps when the weather's good. When it's terrible, well, it's terrible a lot here. So when it's sunshine, yeah, you know it. The paddling pool, the barbecue, the whole lot's out. The sun cream's on. I've never been one for using sun cream, even since a very young age. I just never seen the point in it. You grease yourself up like a fucking turkey going into the oven, right? I've always thought, nah. And I remember reading years ago, oh, it goes into your skin, seeps into your skin, can give you cancer and all kinds of fucking crazy shit. And I can remember being quite young. And I remember people saying, oh, no, that wouldn't seep into your skin. Stuff can't do that. Yeah, sure, yeah. And Sweeney Todd he was just a barber, right? John might have known Sweeney Todd. I think he cut his hair once. Do you know, I better watch because you're not allowed to make fun of anybody that's old anymore in Scotland. You can't call people old. It's going into the hate crime. It's going to be a hate crime. So I'm going to be in prison, right, for joking about. Of course, I joke about because my kids call me the old man. So someone's got to be older than me, right? Surely. So we'll jump in the chat. I think we're okay for the audio. We might look at 1 or 2 bits actually. Yeah, so Saturday, let's just clear up this housekeeping. We'll call it that. On Saturday, as far as I'm aware, it's going to be at about 6 p.m. UK time. So you're going to have to be on your toes for that, right? I'll try and set it up as soon as I can. So that'll be on Saturday. And then on Monday. What day is that? It's the 11th of September. Somebody's birthday, I think. Maybe. A lot of talk about something maybe happening this September. Has anybody else heard about that? I mean, hey, I wouldn't rule anything out, but I don't know. Are we due a bit of chaos? More chaos? Oh, a natural disaster it'll be. Totally natural, yeah. Sure. I better watch what I'm saying or we'll get a strike. So we'll jump into the comments. Let me see. I've got my mouse, so we should be capable. It's a Duck in the Hood. Yeah, Jerry Cinnamon. Great song, that. Worth you can listen to it twice. You know, there's one big problem with that song. Massive problem. Do you know what it is? It's too short. It's not long enough. It should be longer, right? I remember a guy said that to me once about a DVD that I gave him. He's like, there's one problem, raging. And I was thinking, wait, what? I thought he was going to like it. It was Johnny Cash, live at Austin, Texas, 1987, actually, I think. And he was like, there's a big problem with this. It's not long enough, he said. And it probably doesn't sound funny, me saying it, but it was funny at the time. So It's a Duck in the Hood. Yeah, it's a great song. Put it on the playlist. It's actually uploaded to this channel. So get it from here, right? Get it from here. It's it's not blocked, but obviously if it's monetized, it's not by me, it's by Jerry Cinnamon, but he allows people to have it. Some artists, they'll share in monetization. Some of them will allow it but take the money. Well, allow you to share it, and they'll monetize it and take the money, or they completely block it and they will not let anybody use it no matter what. So I don't know. I think they should just let people use it, right? And if they want to monetize it, so be it. So It's a Duck in the Hood. Very first in the gate tonight, our English brother, from Liverpool. I'm not going to do a Liverpool accent. I can't. I can't do it. I kind of can, but I can't do it when it's on the spot. There's only 2 accents I can do, apart from my own. I can't even do that. A wee bit Liverpool. In fact, there's 3. A wee bit Liverpool, or Scouse, if you like. Geordie and Australian. I think I've done my Australian before. Usually quoting Steve Coogan. Is it Steve Coogan? From Crocodile Dundee. Has anybody seen that? Surely, right? Surely! Toffee's bound to have seen it. Oh, Gaynor as well. Good to see Gaynor. Foggy Down Blue Sky. Yeah, painted it white. Yeah, well, we had a good day. The website. Yeah, it is pretty much down. I'm not sure. I'm unsure if I'm going to keep it up, to be honest. I didn't even think it would get mentioned. I don't think anybody noticed that it's gone. Well, it's not gone, but I just don't think it's worth its while. Do you know if I go back to maybe 2020 and 2021, a wee bit 2022, there was kind of a place for the website because we were getting so much censorship here. But now we don't seem to get it as bad. Touch wood. I should have said nothing, right? Incoming strike now. But I don't know. So it's kind of been put on suspended, if you like. I don't think many people use it enough to make it. I don't think enough people use it to keep it open, to be honest. Which sounds bad because Gaynor clearly uses it, right? I kind of liked it myself, but I felt like I was only keeping it open for me. So I don't know. I'm unsure, Gaynor. It might be. It might be. We'll see how we get on. Maybe I'll bring it back if we need it. But for the time being, it's pretty much on ice, right? It's on the rocks. We'll go with that. Joni Rotten in the Hood, good to see you. I popped into a Joni stream today. Yeah, well, yesterday now. It just, as I looked at the clock, turned midnight. So we're into the 7th of September. It's been a terrible summer. Up until the bad summer, it felt like quite a quick year. But then it dragged a bit. And I feel like, winter, well, I mean, I don't even want to think about the winter. Honestly, one of these days I'm going to build a boat or steal it. Although I don't recommend that, right? Let me be the fool and just sail away. Far, far away. Right beyond, I don't know, what, the ice wall. I'm going to climb it and just keep walking and walking and walking. What was the story again about the ice wall? Did they not say? I'm sure there was a report or a diary. I don't think it was Admiral Byrd, but I could be wrong. I don't think it was him. I'm sure they said beyond the wall, the ice wall, there was vast land, swathes of land that they seen. Probably a world that's completely hidden from the sheeple, right? And I mean, the thought of that, even for some of us, is a bit like, nah, come on. We would know, right? We would know. We know the world. We know the whole world. There can't be more to it that we don't know. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. What do we really know is the question. And in my own view, well, in my own experience, nada, zilch, nothing. That's me anyway. I can't speak for yous. Sue as well. Fantastic. Good to see. Sue in the hood. Are we okay for audio? I think we're okay for the audio. I'm way behind. Quite a few comments, quite a few folk. I never even expected anybody. The sort of graveyard shift on YouTube here late at night. No one's about. If you can go on to YouTube Studio and you can look at the analytics and the statistics, and you can see when the people who watch your content are online. Pretty much, it shows you a graph when everybody is online, and it's from what I could see about 6 o'clock at night. Between 6 p.m. and about 8 p.m. would probably be the time to go on. But usually then I'm busy. So what can you do? I mean, that would be the ideal time, I think, but I'm sure I've been on then before. And we never got many people. So I don't know. And again, I guess I'm unsure if that data comes from the people actually being active online or active on YouTube. But there's so much now you can look into through YouTube Studio. You can go into what they've got as a research program, and you can see, even to an extent, people who watch your videos, what else did they watch? What videos did they watch and stuff like that. It's quite insane, man. I don't know if it's kind of AI. Well, it's going to be AI driven, right? What's not, I guess. Today. I mean, it's all about AI now. All I hear is AI, AI, AI. Oh, AI books, oh, AI music, oh, AI this. And I just think, wow. And it's, yeah, when you think about technology, we seem to be the last people to get it. So when they've got it, we don't even know. By the time we get it, it's old news, man. Ancient history, whatever that is. So Sue is in the hood. Good to see Sue. The Arc Ash as well. Good to see you as well, my friend. Back again. Fantastic. It's a dark Arc Ash. Ragnar's in the hood. No sound. No sound good. I think we're okay. I think at the beginning it was me taking. Honestly, I tried my best to get it going as quick as I could, but yeah, there was a wee bit of silence and a chemtrail, like a chemtrail GIF at the start. But I guess you could count it as an intro, a tense intro. And then I played a song, and I'm hoping now we're all good. Good to see Ragnar. Great stuff. Check out Ragnar's channel as well. If not already, you should have already. I'm sure most of you know already. Who else? Anglo. No, I always I always say that. I get you confused with someone else, I'm sure. Analog synth player in the hood. Good to see you back again. Fantastic. Steve as well. Good old Steve, the #1 moderator. The second backbone on YouTube, right? We'll go with that. Kind of taking the crown from Sensum. He's not, maybe he is in the chat, I don't know, but I've not seen him yet. He'll be here, he'll be listening. You can guarantee. If not, he'll be streaming somewhere on Bonnie Lad or on I don't know, 42, or I mean, there's so many channels that he's on. Hence why he is the backbone of YouTube, right? He knows it. So I look forward to catching up with Sensum and hopefully Scott's armor, because I never got to speak to Scott on the Sunday. His again, technology issues there. So, and because I was running late, I was actually about half an hour late. Terrible, right? I was bloody running down the road quick as I could. I knew I was going to be late, but I didn't. I thought maybe 10 minutes late, but I was about half an hour late. So I do apologize. And then I got on, and Scott's basically cut out as soon as I got on. So yeah, I never got to say hello to Scott. So I'm hoping maybe on Saturday. If not, it'll be me. I'll definitely be there. As far as I'm aware, Jerry's going to be there. And I did speak to Sensum yesterday, and I believe he's going to be there. Right, so that'll be on Saturday, and then on the Monday, it'll be the 9/11 stream on the anniversary. So that should be interesting. Yeah, lots to say on that, right? Too much to say. We'd be here for, I don't know, 4 hours, for 3, 4, 5, maybe. I think one of the streams we done was about 4 hours long. And that was a lot. Too long, to be honest. Way too long. Space Hopper Mark in the hood. Good to see you, Mark, back again. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I think John was in the hospital and then he's out the other day. And I think he's okay, but obviously still not the best, which is, yeah, I hate to say it, but I get a wee bit worried about people more than I should probably. But I've got a lot of time and respect for people. And when I've got time and respect, I mean, it sounds a bit gay, but I kind of care about them as well. And I don't even like that fact. It's like, fucking hell, you don't even know these people to an extent, if you know what I mean. They're online, right? But I do, I feel like I care about them, especially when it comes to people that I respect. Because I don't find many of them, to be honest. So they need to be cared for, nurtured, right? Is there anyone else that I've missed? Let me see. COVID warming. Fucking hell. Classic. COVID warming. Yeah. Hey, listen, Steve. I'll do the jokes, right? You stick to the moderating. I'll crack. I'm the class clown here. COVID warming. Yeah. Hey, don't give them any ideas as well. You know fine well they're going to steal that. Hey, speaking about ideas, do you know when I was in class on the Monday? I'm saying in class, it was online. But there was I kind of had an idea. What happened was they were going round the people, and I had missed it. I was a few minutes late, so they they never even got to me, and I already knew the lecturer anyway. So, I mean, there was no point in me introducing myself to someone that I already knew. But a few people were talking about work that they'd done, and I was just sitting listening. And I don't want to say too much about it either, because, I mean, it's nothing at the moment, but I don't know, man. A guy mentioned something that was a wee bit of an issue. And not long after that, another guy mentioned something, and I instantly had an idea. It just, like that. And it wasn't even really I don't know, eureka sort of, it's a new invention moment. It was the kind of combining of Well, it was more problem solving by looking at a product that's an issue and then either replacing it or basically, I see, I don't want to give away too much either. But basically, there's an issue with a certain product. And I had an idea to how that product could be replaced and still do the same job. And from what I can see, I done a wee bit of research into it because I thought, well, surely maybe it's already been done, but it's not been done. And I don't know. It's I kind of think it might be a good idea for a business, and it would only be focused on one single product as well. But it's a product that gets used right across the world and used in a big number as well, year in, year out, especially going by the world that we're in today. So, I mean, I don't know. Hey, maybe this time next year, we could be millionaires, right? We could be multi-millionaires. Do we really want that? I don't know. What would it bring? More issues, probably. More trouble. More trouble than it's worth. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I've had ideas in the past, but this one kind of just, yeah, I don't know. It won't go away. So I'm gonna have to look into it a bit more. Anytime I've thought about going into business or anything like that sense, I always kind of think, well, I should go into it with a partner. But this time I don't think I'm gonna go. I think anything I do is gonna be off my own back. And then that way it's 100% me. And then I can do what I like with that 100%, if you like. I mean, even if it's already been developed, which I'm adamant it's not, which is actually a wee bit surprising as well, but maybe not. The market for it would be very, very, very small. You would be pretty much the first in the door. So yeah, I kind of want to say, but I also don't. I don't want to say. Yeah, in case. I mean, yeah, it's an idea, right? You wouldn't want to give away any ideas, but if I can tell you more, I will. Yeah, so I might look into that as well more at college, but even with that, I'm a bit suspicious about who I would talk to about it. I could tell one of the lecturers and not go through with it, and then they go away and do it. And then I see them rolling past in a fucking Lamborghini, waving. Oh, thanks for the idea, right? So, I mean, that's bound to have happened in the past. Teachers, and I can remember an art teacher who used to get students to design different items. And even as a young pupil in secondary school, I remember thinking, I bet he's making some of these or putting them forward as a product idea, like designing items, everyday items that were. I can even remember we designed a new plug that you put into the wall for electricity. But it was a plug, and this is going back to about 1990. Well, actually, into maybe 2001. And it was plugs where you could easily get them in and out of the wall because, say, for someone who's got MS or is some form of disability or no arms, let's go with that. How are they going to get a plug out, right? With their teeth. So there was, yeah, I can remember and some of them were great, man. I can remember thinking, do you know what? Some of these we'd definitely sell. And thinking about the plugs designs we've got today, maybe some of them were based on that, right? The guy's a billionaire, man. So I don't know. I'll let you know, but it was just an idea, and I think I could get more ideas from the sort of network of people that I'm now connected to through the college. And the other day I was back on the library, the online archive library. And I mean, bloody hell, that is extensive. The amount of stuff, man, it is insane. And I'll maybe show you. I might keep it. Have I got stuff here? Let me check. I've got that much stuff on my favorited. I remember when I had my laptop at college the other term, and I had all this stuff favorited on the top of my screen, like 9/11 stuff, and what was the one? The swine flu. Something about the swine flu. And I remember thinking, oh, my lecturer's going to be looking at that, thinking, what the bloody hell does this guy do on his laptop, man? The flight radar, the stuff about the swine flu, Operation Tumbler, that was on it. Something about DNA, all kinds of weird shit. Man. But hey, that's the way of it. I've got nothing to hide, to be honest. I'm careful. I can be careful with what I say to people in person, but in general, I've nothing to hide. If they want to ask me, I'll soon let them know. But I also kind of advise folk, be careful with who you talk to and what you tell them. A lot of times people don't need to fucking know. They simply don't need to know. And I think a lot of people today can tell people too much as well, which can be a bit rich coming from a guy who's pretty much an open book. But that's the way of it. Fearlessness can be dangerous as well. There can be certainly a lot said for a bit of caution in what you say and who you say it to, especially today, in the world that we're in today. They'll use it against you and try and get you the sack and all kinds of stuff, right? Who else have we got? Justine's in the hood as well. The beautiful Justine. Where did she go? Where did she go? Where is it? Did I go by it? There it goes. Justine, the wonderful Justine, back again. The mother of the group, right? Great to see you. A pleasure. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you and the family are doing great, right? Let us know what the weather's been like. We've had a Indian summer, I'm pretty sure that's what you would call it, but you probably can't now. Racist, right? Don't call it that. Racist. You can't call it a Indian summer. You've got to call it I don't know, trans-Indian summer, bi-Indian summer, Indian British summer, British Indian. How do you get a British Indian? A British Indian. British Indian. What? Like Peter Kay with the garlic bread, right? Garlic bread. What? British Indian? That's always cracked me up, that. Oh, he's a British Indian. He's a British Indian. I suppose that's like African American. He's an African American. So he's two people then, right? He's an African and he's an American. Sure, it is 2023. Hey, they'll probably he's African American, New Mexican, British as well. Oh, thanks, Toffee. I was worried I was going to be deemed gay by Sensum. He likes to give people abuse, Sensum, as well. He's good at that, right? Well, especially me, but I guess I can take it. So, hey, it's good to have a bit of banter, right? You've got to as well. And you can't take too much offense. You can't take any offense, really. And I know that sometimes we can all get annoyed at stuff, maybe a bit too much, or maybe not a bit too much, but a bit easily. And it's just we're learning that you kind of, I don't know, you learn to bite your tongue a wee bit or think. Well, with me personally, I try to think more before I say anything. Thinking back to when I was younger, man, it's yeah. I mean, I rapid changed my life when basically from about 23 onwards. That's when I kind of grew up. Up until that point, nah, absolute idiot I was, man. An absolute clown. What's that noise? Weird noise. I don't think you'll hear it, but I don't know what it was. It might have been an aeroplane. We've not had much in the way of activity. The past few days, not much military, not much of chemtrails either, which has been great. Hallelujah. Long may it continue, right? But I doubt it. Do you know what? I did have a mad dream. And I kind of think it might have been because of I was playing GTA. And I mean, I don't play. I've not got a computer or anything like that. But my son, I was playing the computer with my son. And it was that GTA, Grand Theft Auto. Do you know the guy that made that is from the town that I stay in? Do people know that? They better know that. It's the claim to fame, right? The guy's actually he's from Elgin. And yeah, I had been playing it that night. And when I went to my bed, and it's not often that I can even remember dreaming or having a dream or a nightmare or anything like that. But I think between a combination of GTA and watching the flight radar, I had a dream about aircrafts firing rockets at each other. And I'm standing in my dream in the street, like pointing, shouting. I'm unsure who I was speaking to, but I was like, "Look, they're firing rockets, man!" And it was so real as well. They weren't firing rockets at people. They were firing rockets at each other in the sky. There was like, I don't know, maybe about 10 different aircraft in the sky. And I was thinking, fucking hell. When I woke up, I thought, I need to stop watching that flight radar, man. Because I think I'd maybe at that point had subscribed to it, and you can watch it on free. In fact, I'll show you right now if I can get it up. Hasdak as well in the hood. Good to see Hasdak. Anybody else that I missed? I don't think I did. Toffee, Steve, Justy. Oh, Bry as well. Where's Bry? I seen Bry. Good to see Bry. Ah, there he goes. Joni. Yep, Hasdak. Gainer. Yeah, I think we got everyone, which is great. We didn't miss anyone. I don't think we did. We'll jump back anyway. because I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you, and you'll show me. Right? Your dream was right next. I'm unsure. Do you know? I'm unsure where it was at the time. I think it might have been quite close to my house actually. Because I think I was speaking to some random neighbor. I'm trying to point up. I was pointing up to the sky, saying, "Look, they're firing rockets at each other." And from what I can recall, I don't think they cared. just me, just me, right? But yeah, the activity, it can be quite high here. Obviously, it's connected to the whole war theater. Putin's coming. And it's anybody's guess what's going to happen there. Anybody's guess, man. But, I mean, there's a lot of talk at the moment about nuclear weapons being put back in the UK, although they won't confirm, I don't think. And I don't like the sound of that. Are they going to store all the nuclear weapons here? Maybe my thought about the UK being sacrificed is maybe going to be right. Fucking hell. Let's hope not, right? But I did before. I had this weird thought that it might come to a point where they say, "Look, we're going to sacrifice a nation and obliterate it with an atomic bomb, and it's going to help achieve net zero. Hooray! Celebrate good times." And I mean, I don't know, but the UK would maybe be quite high on the list of the most hated. Imagine if they done a poll or based it on the fucking the the what do you call it? The Eurovision. We would be done then, right? We're finished. Guaranteed. The UK wiped out. I don't know. It was a bad thought to have. Scary thought, man. Wiped off the map, right? Written out history. Good way to cover your tracks, that, right? As well, when you think about it. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be somewhere else. They sacrifice. But they have talked about a nuclear exchange. A small nuclear exchange being a potential solution to geoengineering. So maybe that'll come, right? Hey, the way the world is, a lot of people will say, "Look, when you do decide what country it is, let me know, because I'll make sure I'm there." Tell me when and where, I'll be there, right? I'll be there waiting for it. Wipe out. But I mean, I hate the thought of nuclear weapons being here without getting all hippie fucking nuclear. I mean, I just hate it. I really do. The fact they've got them in Scotland as well. A tiny wee nation that's meant to be sovereign. Give over. If there was any sovereignty in the world, when there's not, of course. A tiny wee nation of what, 5 million people? 5 million people. What's the UK in total? About 60, 70 million? Well, it's probably about 90 now after the fucking immigrants that have came in. And that's not going to stop either, man. That is not going to stop. No way. And it's only, the only thing I can get or predict from that is chaos. And I talked about the meeting I went to before about the immigrants in the hotel, and they talked about it. It's going to happen for the next 2 years. And in this tiny wee town, to begin with, they put, oh, we're only going to put 50 people, immigrants. But then another hotel's going to open and there'll be more. So maybe potentially 100 immigrants in a tiny wee town, man. In the northeast of Scotland, in the middle of practically fucking nowhere. 60% probably of people have never even heard of Elgin, let alone point it out to you on a map, right? Even on, my wife was in Glasgow the other day, and even people there don't know or have heard of Elgin, and it's just up the road from them. I shouldn't laugh at that, right? But people should know really, but they don't. Why would they if they had no reason to? And I did say on Sunday, as the years went by, as I've grown up, I've seen the UK pretty much change colour. And I'm not a racist person or anything like that, but I'd be kidding myself if I seen it any different. And if you say anything about that, oh, you're a racist, then I hear you're a racist now, Father. How much time do we dedicate to the racism? That's from Father Ted, of course. But it's not, because when it boils down to it, I've got genuine concerns. There's things that I believe in, like tradition, value, moral. British people, Scottish people, Irish people. A genuine care. I wish the governments here had the same care, but they've clearly not, right? I mean, they got sold out a long time ago without getting into them. But I never ever thought I would see the day that in my own bloody town, it would be happening here. How well it's going to work out, and I'm unsure, because I can't see them liking it here. They're not going to like it, man. They won't like it. So the likelihood would be they move on from here to the big city. This will be like the stop off point, then into the big city, or they'll get housed locally. So I'm seeing it here now as well. And when I was growing up, I don't even think, I think we had maybe one or two people who were Chinese. And then as time went on, mid-90s, well, early to mid-90s, we had Bosnian refugees from, I don't know, the Slobodan Milosevic sort of era. Do we know him? And the war that was going on there. And to be fair to them, the ones that were here, they actually integrated pretty well. They were here as a family unit. They came here, they got jobs. They weren't put in a fucking hotel that was basically a prison, because that's what it is. And I mean, first and foremost, in my own personal view, these people should not be here. Straight up. You would not take people into your home if you do not have the space, if you do not have the facilities, if you do not have the capability to look after them. You've got to be able to look after yourself first, right? And the mess that we are in now is severe. So what, in my view, should really happen there, and it won't, of course, is it should be stopped. And anybody that comes here better be fucking swimming here. because they would not be getting across. No way. No way. But of course, in Britain, they've got boats going out to save them and take them back. And I mean, it's savage when you think about it, because there's boats being capsized pretty much every month now. And they're streaming from, I mean, right across the world, streaming into the UK. And that's got to raise an eyebrow or two as well, right? They're streaming them all into the UK, and these boats are even capsizing all over the. I shouldn't laugh. That's terrible. But these people have made the choice as well. It's on them. Because it wouldn't be me. I would not be deserting my nation, first and foremost. And I certainly wouldn't be jumping into a dinghy, crossing any sea with big fucking waves. No way. Hey, I've been in big boats, vessels. That was bad enough. Not a wee skiff boat made out of a fucking bathtub. No way, man. I mean, that is insane, right? You're asking for trouble. And of course, it's a big industry now. So it's not going to stop. There'll be mafia. There'll be all sorts involved with that. Getting these people here that are paying money to get here. And a lot of them not even getting here. Then when they get here, they're being put into a situation where it's only going to end up in a bad way. I can pretty much guarantee it. Not every single person, immigrant, is going to be a bad person, but a high percentage of them will be, because they're creating it that way. They're making it that way. The way they're setting it up, the way they've set it up, it's bound to happen. And it's already happening. And they even early on, they said, look, a lot of them are suffering. They're having a bad time of it. They're not coping. Yeah, because they're in a fucking prison. Not only that, they think everyone locally hates them because the media made a big fuss about a fucking pop-up protest that some Nazi guy went to. And they all made a big fuss about it. And it wasn't even the local people that was there. Half of the local people never even knew the immigrants were here. So it's all being contrived. It's all being orchestrated. And I could see that clear as day, man. Clear as day. Other people can see it here as well. So, I mean, I don't blame the immigrants. Personally, I don't think it would be me. I wouldn't be deserting, especially if my country was at war. Deserting would be the last thing I would be doing. So I'd be questioning these guys' fucking morality. And there's so many different theories as to why they're here. And I wouldn't rule anything out, not the one thing. It would be stupid to. And there was big concerns. I've talked about it before. There was big concerns got raised at the meeting about some of the behaviour of the immigrants that had only been here about a week. A week, man. And people were already worried about where they were going, what they were doing, who they were talking to, young kids. Hanging around schools as well. This is going by what was said at the public meeting that I attended, and it got a bit heated as well. I thought, oh, here we go. There's going to be a big fight. The left against the right. Fight. That's one way to sort it out, right? I can tell you right now, the right would have won. The left has not got a fight in them. I mean, politics is a big joke as well, but it's interesting looking at it sometimes as well. The media, a lot of the time, especially in the past, portray the right wing as very and evil and Nazi, when actually the left wing is more that. They're more that. But of course, you're always going to have the severe ends of both sides. So you've got the kind of not so worried, a wee bit worried, then all-out extreme leftist or the all-out extreme right-wing scenario. And of course, none of it's ever going to work that way. It can never work when we can't be united, basically. So there's no, you would never get a hardcore lefty saying, well, some of their policies are okay in terms of the right wing. They would hate all of them. And that's how basically, in short, it'll never work. Because it almost becomes like a competition. Oh, right against left, like a football match, man. Maybe that's the way to settle it. I think in the UK we're gonna see change on the political landscape. In America, I'm not so sure. I kind of think surely Biden can't go again, right? I mean, fucking hell. Well, yeah, maybe robot Biden. There's another year in robot Biden, right? AI Sniffy Joe. Not heard much about Joe Biden lately. He must be in getting an MOT, right? He's getting his joints oiled. Robot Biden. Who else did I see there? Linda from Australia. Fantastic. It's morning. Well, it's morning here as well, actually. But very early morning. So 1:45 in the morning. Was it bright? The past few nights we've had very clear skies, big moon, stars, beautiful. You know the nebula. I love looking at that. I've got quite good binoculars at the moment. But I can attach my phone to it. But the apparatus I used broke. So it just broke, man. It snapped. So I've got to super glue it. And then I'm hoping we still get some clear nights, and it's been fantastic, man. I love a clear night. You can watch the stars, look at the moon. It's breathtaking for me. Heaven, man. Heaven on earth for me, honestly. And there's not much light pollution here, so you can see the whole lot. The whole lot, man. The whole universe, which is fitting, right? I mean, how can I? How can I see it all just above my head, basically? But there you go, right? The whole lot, man. And the moon tonight was amazing. It was like a half moon, but it was gigantic. I don't know if anybody else caught it. I tried to take a photo on my phone, but it did not do it any justice whatsoever. It just looked terrible. It looked shocking. Like, is that even the moon? What even is that? A smudge on the fucking screen. But in reality, it was breathtaking, and it was like a dark yellow. And it's been changing a lot lately in regards to how bright and the color of it. Because a few nights ago as well, it wasn't as big, but it was so bright. It lit up the sky like daytime, a big section of the sky. And I was out walking the dog, and I thought, fucking hell. It was like blue sky. Honest to God, and this was like late at night. But it was just a certain part of the sky, and it was one of them super moons. And I expected it to be gigantic, but it wasn't. It was small. It was like maybe a wee bit bigger than a normal moon, but it was really bright, like a torch bright. Even it was that bright. My camera with the binoculars, it couldn't it wouldn't pick it up. It was so bright. Honest to God, I've never seen it so bright. And I couldn't help but think, do you know this, man? It is. It's amazing, and I found it beautiful to an extent. But I also always think there's so much we do not know about this world, about the moon, about what they call space. And do you know that kind of makes me feel like there's more to be found out, which is rather than, oh, we know everything, right? For example, like, I don't know, like living in life, you've got to live. Otherwise, what's the point in living? You've got to take risks, right? You've got to do things. Otherwise, what's the point? That probably never made sense, but there you go. It's late. We'll go with that, right? It's late. But I really do. I enjoy stargazing. I always tend to see stuff moving about, and God only knows what it is. I guess it's probably some kind of drone fucking satellite shifting about in the sky. They're always quite small and they move rapid. They can be hard to catch, but easy to see when you've got the binoculars on the sky. Yeah, I think Trump's running again, right? I think he can run one. Well, he can't run. I doubt very much he could run. Could you imagine Trump running? Running down the road. Run! It's Bin Laden. He's back from the dead. And he's raging. Could you? I just couldn't, right? I mean, he said in his interview with Tucker, oh, Biden's not fit and he's not capable. And I thought, well, look at you, man. Your face is orange. You've clearly got some weird skin condition there. It'd be fake tan, right? He was clearly overweight. I think if he tried to run, he would fall over. But maybe not. I don't know. Who am I to cast judgment, right? But I mean, here, honestly, Biden or Trump is like, what do you want? Guillotine or rope? That's what it's like, right? Yay! Choice! Hooray! Freedom! Freedom! Yeah. Fuck it, we'll go with the guillotine. It's the less of two evils. And you hear that even from people that vote. Oh, well, I'm going to vote Thingy because so-and-so is too much. And of course, yeah, Justine would know. There's no winning, is there? It's like a catch-22 situation. I was going to show you Britain built the moon, I reckon. Like we built it. Well, I hope it wasn't made in China because it'll be falling to bits soon. China have actually seemingly made a moon simulator as well. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but seemingly they did make a simulation of the moon that could be used if needed. And I'm sure I read ages ago that there's ancient Indian scripture that actually talks about the moon, talks about a time where the moon was not there. But then one day it just appeared and it was there. And I always mean to try and find out where it came from, where it stemmed from. Because I kind of think, well, surely it didn't just appear, right? Because what do they tell us? Well, the moon and the sun and the tide and the waves and gravity and science. That's what they say, right? To a T. But if it wasn't there before and just appeared, then surely that would debunk the whole pool in the sea and gravity fucking nonsense they talk about. Because I don't know if I buy that either. Oh, it's pooling this and then it pulls it that way. I wouldn't buy it. There's nothing I would buy from them. I mean, I think the moon probably affects even us. But I always feel we're so far from true reality. So far. That I would not rule anything out. And I'd probably put more more faith in what was said a fucking million, billion, gazillion years ago than what's being said today, for example. I wouldn't trust anything today. Nope, not buying it, right? Unless it's written on slate or inscribed in a tablet. Useless. Even then, it's all code and secret. Hidden knowledge, right? What did they say? Knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. Well, the power would come in keeping that knowledge. Like the brotherhood, the secret occult. That's basically what the claim is. They hold knowledge that we don't know. So let me quickly see. We'll jump back to the chat. We'll go until maybe 1:30. I think I might manage. There'll probably be just me speaking to myself. But I reckon I could, if I fall asleep, we might be finished before then. I'll try my best, right? We're still going. Ike interviewed. Oh, yeah, the shaman. Was it not the shaman guy? What are you saying that he said? I'm unsure. But is that the same guy? Remember we talked about him before? Oh man, there was a mad story. Remember the story about how what he had to do to find out the truth? Well, not truth, but to gain access to knowledge that the elders had. Remember the story he told, man? It was so gruesome. Do people know it? I think we've covered it before. Oh, about the moon, is it? Oh, that's interesting, that. Because I'm adamant it was, I wonder if that's still ancient Indian, because that would be like ancient African, right? I mean, if they were both saying that, then maybe it is true that it just appeared out of the blue. A blue moon, right? A new moon. Maybe that's where it originates from. Oh, we've got a new moon out of the blue. Oh, we'll call that one a blue moon. Yeah, that's his name. That is the guy's name, isn't it? Mutawa. Credo Matawa. We'll go with that. I wonder how popular that name is in the world. Does anybody know where their name ranks in the list of most used names in the world? Because I do. Because my wife and my son looked up a name tonight to see how rare it was. Then we looked at our own names, and William is actually the 51st most used name. So I'm in the top 50 almost of used names, which is, yeah, that's the claim to fame now, right? Such a common name. I feel so common now. I wish I never knew that, right? No, it's a common name. Of course, it's not your name that defines you. It's yourself, I'd imagine. What's a name but a label, I guess. Maybe your name does, I don't know. Maybe there's more to it. But William as well is multiple names, so it's probably a lot more than that. Of course, there's the German and there's the French as well version of it. So if you combined it, yeah, it would be staggering, I'd imagine. And we might touch on that a wee bit more because it's big in the Knights Templar, but it's the French version, which is Gilliam or Gilliam. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but when I get round to the second Knights Templar stream, we might look at that because we're going to look back on some names as well. To give us a better feel of who names to look out for, right? That's going to be quite a good one, I think. So I'll take you now to. I'm unsure. Do you know this? I can't remember. I don't think we looked at the most used. But from what I can remember from before, I think it's an Arabic name, or Muhammad, I think is the most used per head. I could be wrong. But I mean, William as well, obviously you've got kings and stuff like that named. So I think a king's name was popular. James, another popular name. Quite a good name as well, James. I don't mind it. Henry, never been a fan of the name Henry for some reason. I don't know. Some names I just don't like, and other names I think, yeah, great name. Like the name Keith, I don't like it. There's a town here called Keith as well, which is quite funny. It's an ancient town. Maybe one that we might look into in the future. So I'll quickly show you. StreamYard present. A zillion Muhammads. A zillion gibillion Muhammads, right? 20 kids and they're all called Muhammad. Muhammad 1, Muhammad 2, Muhammad 3, Muhammad 4. You get the picture, right? Did anybody see? Oh, we might have a look at it. Oh, fucking hell, man. Oh. There was NASA released an image of the Indian lander. And I mean, yeah, in typical NASA fashion. I'll see if I can show you. Let me see. I want to show you the radar. My new and improved. We should be sharing. Are we sharing? Yes. Yeah. But full screen is preferred for the blind people like me. And why is that not the full screen like it should be? What the heck? Oh, for God's sake. Weird. Why is that changed? Hey, I think people can see it anyway. It's a bloody nuisance. I need to try and rearrange my layout, my screen layout. How long have we went? An hour and a half. Just flown in. I've not even said anything. What's my dog doing? Come here. You coming? I had to take him out, which is why I'm a wee bit later than I planned to come on. I had to walk him, otherwise I would have been walking him at now probably. And I had to do that on Sunday night. I think we went until about 12 o'clock. Then at 12:30 at night, I got ready to walk the dog. And I took him to the woods that I take him. Pitch black, man. Pitch black. Eyes in the distance. And you know, I went into there's a field I have to go through it's like a path through it. And there was deer there. And I knew there would be, but I couldn't see them. But what I do, when I get into the field, I take off his lead, the dog's lead, and then I bang the metal clip on the plastic bit. So it's like, basically like but quite loud. So the deer scamper, and all you hear is the deer scampering. You can hear them. And when I put the torch on, you can see the eyes looking back at you through the grass, which is pretty cool and a wee bit creepy, but it's deer, right? They're certainly going to be more scared of you than you are of them. Well, that should be the case, but it's also maybe, I think, well, that can let them know, look, if you see a human coming, fucking get on your bike, right? Don't be hanging around, or you'll be dinner. If we ever run out of food, then there's plenty food running about here. Because I must have heard about 3 or 4 at least running through the field. And my dog doesn't even see them. He's too busy sniffing the grass and eating it. So I got in and it was pitch black. And it's the darkest it's been since the sort of going back to the winter, the end of the winter, spring maybe. And I got into the woodland and there's like a barn that goes down to the distillery. And of course, Beans is a Labrador, chocolate Labrador. And you can't keep a Labrador out the water. No way. I think they are basically a sea dog, a scrounging sea dog, scavenging sea dog. That's what he gets called anyway. And he certainly is a scavenger, although not at sea. But so he's jumping in the water. And there was bats, man. The bats came out. They were coming out of nowhere. And it just felt like, I don't know, there was animals everywhere watching. And even cats as well. And I could hear birds in the distance, an owl tooting. And even, because usually I'm out late, but it's like 10 o'clock, 10:30. But going in later into the night, it's like the animals know, like, this is the time to be going out. So they would have been looking at me thinking, what the bloody hell is this guy doing? Walking his dog at stupid o'clock, right? But you know, when a bat flies by your head, like literally right past your face, it's a bit like, whoa, fucking hell. You get a bit of a flag, right? I mean, I'm not scared of them. I don't, it's not like I run away or anything like that. I mean, it's going to happen, but yeah, it's, I don't know. There's, it can be a strange feeling being in the woods at night, complete black, not knowing what's going to happen or what's going to jump out. But I tend to make a bit of noise to scare anything away. And then when I get into the woodland area, I'll make big steps at like intervals of walking. So any animal, because the last thing I want is my dog bloody chasing a deer and getting kicked, or eating a frog or something like that. I don't know. Something stupid, knowing him, right? So, but I do, hey, it doesn't matter what time. If I've got to walk my dog, I'm walking my dog. It's simple as that, man. Because people have said, what, 1 o'clock at night? Oh, that wouldn't be me. I would wait next day. And I think, well, nah, what's the point if I can get it done? Just because it's deemed as unsociable hours, fuck it. All the better, right? No one in your way. No bugger in your way. Do you know this, though? Any time and it's bloody sod's law, so typical. And I mean, I let him off the lead at certain parts where no one's there in the forest and stuff like that. But anytime it's late and I think, nobody's here, it's fine. As soon as I let him off the lead, somebody walks around the corner and Beans is like, wow, 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 right up to them, and they're like, wow. And I'm like, don't worry, he's all right. He's just got a flag because you've basically jumped out on him, right? But he freaked a guy out one night, I think, and I felt a bit bad about it. I thought, oh, bugger. Because the guy, what had happened was, I had literally just let him off the lead, and it was I was going down a street, and I thought, well, it'll be all right. It's late. Only I'm stupid enough to be out. And then some guy comes running around the corner in his shorts and t-shirt, I think going to his neighbours or something. And my dog just right after him. And I thought, oh no, here we go. And he's like, he stopped and he's like, with his hands up and stuff like that. And I'm shouting like, it's okay. Be. Can people still hear me? I think we're okay now. I think we're all right. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. We're still here. We're still comments. I think we had the Wi-Fi dropped out. But we're all good in the hood. I hope that doesn't happen on Saturday. Like, remember when I interviewed Mark? Fucking hell. Typical that, right? And the Wi-Fi went down and I had to start up the computer again, and I had to put in the coal and wait until the steam came on because it's an ancient laptop, right? So you get the picture. It took about 20 minutes. Anything that could have went wrong that night in terms of me and the technology. And Mark, like a true saint, he was great. He just carried on like it never even happened. Like I wasn't even there. Well, I wasn't there. Hey, we can laugh about it now, right? We can laugh about it now. Hey, it was to get Mark on so you could hear him anyway. So that's what you got, right? That's what we got. Definitely we'll get Mark back on. Probably maybe before the end of the year, we'll get him back. He's a great lad, Mark. Another person I've got a lot of respect for. Excuse me. That was a burp. Pardon me, right? A lot of respect for Mark. Great guy. Highly recommend windowsontheworld.net. I'm going to say .net. windowsontheworld.net or .org or .com. You'll probably find it anyway. The work, the research Mark's done. I mean, I'm not a researcher. I don't class myself as a researcher. I mean, no way. I couldn't. A curious person, yeah. A researcher, I can't go that far. But people like Mark, most definitely. When it comes to me, yeah, I like to look into stuff, but it's usually focused on a certain topic, right? And I wouldn't say it's in as much detail. It's no way as near as much detail as people like Mark go to. And Mark's been about for a long time, decades, man. I'm not saying that he's old, but he knows the score. He knows the world that we're in. And I mean, people wonder how folk get by all these years, knowing what they know. It's kind of like, hey, how do you do it, right? How do you cope? And that all that boils down to is the individual, and you take it a day at a time, every day a new day. moving forward, doing what you can. And if you're doing what you can't go wrong. You can't beat yourself up. And again, God granted, every day is a new day. Where you might have failed before, you can improve on tomorrow, right? Or you can give it a miss and try something else. Why not? So you might see it looks a bit different, the flight radar that I've got. If we see, basically this area, the whole of Scotland, we've got no flights at the moment. That's quite rare, that, right? A rarity. Be clear skies. Let me see, actually. Can I see? I think it might be clear at the moment. So not much activity here, but you can zoom in now. I can zoom right into Elgin, for example. So you might see me, right? I mean, it's quite interesting because you can even see the military camp, and you'd think they might blur it out, right? We're having enemies and stuff like that. You would think, well, surely it would be blurred out, but it's not, to be fair. Now, this is where I stay in Elgin here. I could pretty much take you to my house. It's over this way in the new part of Elgin. With this sort of area being the old part. You can see it's kind of split in two, right? Divided here by the railway line. So you've got the new part and the old part, Central, Cathedral, and stuff like that. But it's going on and on and on. I mean, it's expanding. You can see where this is. I stay here. They've basically built a whole new village connected to Elgin. And people have said in the past, even when I was growing up, that one day Elgin will probably be joined on to another town. It'll get that big because they will not stop developing. You can even see how it's continuing here, where there's fields, and they're beginning construction even more. Hundreds of houses, thousands of houses, throwing them up like there's no tomorrow. A lot of them, they won't last the test of time. They simply won't. They're not built for it. They can't be. So I'm basically in this area here. But they're expanding out that way. So you've got expansion there. Then you've got more expansion here. All this is being redeveloped as well. On the A96, A96, going out to Lumbride. Here's the wee town called Lumbride, ancient town. And the gap here is getting smaller and smaller all the time. That'll be the first place to join up with Elgin, is Lumbride. And then I reckon it'll be Lossiemouth, which is up here. I think about 5 miles in total. And again, they're redeveloping here. Coming out of Elgin. More redevelopment here, you can see. That'll extend. Here's Spiny Palace. Potentially connected to the Knights Templar. Certainly one that we'll be looking at, that I'll be going to again. The original cathedral in Murray was Spiny, and Burney Kirk, which is where I went to. And we've got videos of that, which is not far from it. I can take you there. Connor? Better if I use the mouse, right? So we should be because it's not very far from me. And this is where there's a lot of buzzards here, birds of prey. You always see them sitting here. I stop here and I get a good vantage point in the trees. I think they've actually got a nest here, because before, when I left and I came back, there was one sitting here, but he took off and he flew into the trees here. And I thought, maybe he was waiting until I was gone, wondering what I was up to, right? So I think the Barney Kirk is here, which is where I went, and I've got some videos from it. And I mean, a lot of it's 17th century, but it was medieval. But unfortunately, a lot of that's gone now, and it's been built on top of. You can see it's on a raised bit of ground, geographically, almost like some sort of moat, maybe. I think under this ground there would be a lot more to be seen. I'm unsure what this is. I think it's a field for sheep. So I'll take you out of there for now. We'll see what the most tracked aircraft is. Do you know, I'll quickly show you the beaches here on Murrayshire. I mean, they're golden beaches, this one, Rose Isle and Birkhead. It's beaches that you'd kind of think was, honestly, you would think you was on the Caribbean sometimes. But it's not, it's Scotland. I've camped in these woods here. A lot of people do. The military, this was used by the military still today. But going back to, like, in the war, when you could still see buildings from then, First and Second World War. It's beautiful, honestly. See, in the summer, it is amazing. Highly recommend to people check it out. Now you're getting into the military sort of area. You can see the whole camp. Look at the size of it, man. I'll probably be able to show you where I worked. I mean, it's gigantic. I wonder, you might be able to see aircraft. Where are they? I don't think you can see any, actually. Surely you would. Maybe they've been taken out. Because they've certainly got a lot of aircraft. I can guarantee that. I know that for sure. I'm sure you would see them. Maybe they're all in the air, right? Oh, there's one there, actually. Is it? I think that might be one that's not used anymore. That's the only one that you can see. I'm sure I went on before and you could see them on the runway. I know this is an old one that's no longer in service. And I know that because I did cut grass here as well. And it was in a garden here. This is like a high officer, a warrant officer. He's got a gigantic house here. Gigantic grounds, man. And we used to have to cut the grass in it. And they were always very snobby people. The officers of the military. Not great people. I guess some of them, yeah, probably all right, but I doubt it, to be honest. I doubt it very much. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff here that's underground as well. I'm adamant they've got a gigantic underground network. You can almost not see that. There's a hangar there, but it's got grass on top of it that has to get cut as well. It's a terrible job, that. It's almost invisible, right? But you can see there's a hangar there. And they've got a lot of stuff that's kind of hidden to the untrained eye, if you like. I'm looking for the bomb dump. There's another one there that's covered. 3 of them, actually. You've got a bit of a... I'm sure there's some sort of facility in here as well. But I can almost guarantee there's a huge underground network here. So you're... I mean, you can see some of it, but you're probably not even seeing the half of it. You've got the RAF base there. Then you've got another military base in Kinloss, which is only a stone throw away. Findhorn Bay, again, beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. I've always wanted to buy a jet ski and take it on to Findhorn Bay. We can dream, right? We can dream. One day I'll get my jet ski. So where's Kinloss, actually? Forests. Oh, there it is there. So again, is that the one I was just looking at? Yeah, that's Kinloss there. So similar. Can you see any aircraft there? I don't think you can. But the Kinloss base is mainly military. Then the Lossiemouth is Royal Air Force. So you've got Kinloss, and then you've got the base at Lossie. Which is up here. And I mean, they're not active at the moment, funnily enough, but they're usually quite active. And the hangar that I worked on's here. Oh, there's the Poseidons there. You can see them. These are the spy planes, basically. There's one of them getting loaded up. Yeah, I wonder, eh? I wonder. Looks a bit weird, that, right? Like a glitch of some sort. I don't think there's a bit there on the plane. Oh, my dog's dreaming. I hope it's... See, you know, you can see why I had a dream about aircraft, right? Man, spending too much time looking at this. Stuff like this. There's one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they've got 9 Poseidon aircraft. And that's the new hangar. This is all new. You can tell it's new by the colour of it, to be fair. But they're extending again. I'm as far as I'm aware, they're building more. But this is the brand new hangar. Maybe it's here they're building, actually, at the moment. It would look like it, yeah. So they're building more here, but just recently they completed this hangar for the Poseidon fleet. And I worked on this hangar here, gigantic hangar that cost about £1 billion to build. And I was actually on this roof here one of the days, and I wasn't meant to be. I was only there labouring, but I thought, do you know what? Fuck it. It was my last week, and I thought I'm going to have a nose about because it's quite strict. They were very worried about people planting devices that could listen in. And it's owned by Boeing and the British government. So they were there in their suits, like the fucking men in black. I hated it. Hated working there. Interesting sort of dip in the ground there as well. Not a dip, but a bulge, if you like. We'll go with that. On there. I mean, it screams, yep, there's stuff going on under there, right? Here as well. I'm unsure what the score is there. And what would be the point in that? It would just be maintenance, more maintenance. That you couldn't get a ride on more on that slope. It would be too much of a slope. So you'd have to strim all that. Or Skag. Do we know what a Skag is? Or a bobcat? The landscapers will know, right? If there's any out there, maybe everyone will know. So we can use the flight radar as well now to look in to different areas. So what's an address? Where does someone stay? Is anybody still here? Let me check. Now we've still got some people. I couldn't see the comments. I'll have to go. There's still a few here. Fantastic. We've kind of went to the time, so we might begin to wrap it up. Yeah, we've got typhoons here. Actually, it's the typhoons. They're not here anymore. Well, they sometimes are here, but lately we've had American, Canadian typhoons, and what's the other one? I can't even remember now. We've always got the Poseidons here. It's a duck still here. Yeah, the ever faithful. Good to see you. We're still up, right? Insomniacs. That must be us, right? Gainer as well. Fantastic. Yeah, worth a visit for sure. Definitely. I think you said you'd been up this way. Cumminston. Yeah. Cool. Fantastic. Yeah, that's not far from here. So you know Murrayshire then, which is great. Some people will be thinking, where is this place? In the middle of nowhere, right? Pretty much. Pickerington, Ohio. I don't know if you can search a place. It would be an airport. Where's Ohio? What coast is that on? The East Coast? Would that be correct? I might be able to find Ohio. So we we might, if we can see you can wave, right? Like Google Earth. Do you know it's weird on Google Earth? You can look back in time to I think as far back as 2007. I find it a bit weird that. I don't know why, but I find it weird, man. Because I was looking at my street that I was in 2007. And it was literally, all I could think was, it's like looking back in time, which is weird. I find that a wee bit unsettling. Let the past be the past, right? But I couldn't help but look, which was quite funny. I take it Ohio's a state, right? Not like in a mess state. There it is there. Ohio. Looks quite big, innit? Is it big? We're probably not going to find. What was the name of it? It was a weird name, right? Saying me called William. Is Columbus in Ohio? Is Ohio just a state or a city? See, I am terrible with geography, man. I'm hopeless at it. So the chances of me finding anything, it would be slim. Would be pretty. It would be by luck. Oh, there it is. There, there it is, right there. Ah, so this is where you must be. Oh, you've got a few flights round about you. I can actually go on now to 3D, and it's pretty cool because it can take you like you're flying with the plane. So we'll go on to this guy. He might be flying over your head. So you're gonna have to look out for him, right? It's pretty cool. It's only like £1 a month to sign up to the silver account. So I mean, I can manage that maybe. And it was more kind of to check it out to see if it made it any better, less boring. It's pretty cool, to be honest. You can move it about and see where it is, what they're doing, what sort of height they're at, where they're over. I thought it was pretty cool. So you might recognize. Oh, there's me. You might recognize the places below. Can I keep that on while I go back? Yeah. So it is a state. Cool. Thank you. It's a duck. You know, it's a duck always keeps me right. Otherwise, I would always be wrong. Why is it not coming up as a comment? Southeast of Columbus. I don't know what's going on with my laptop, but it seems to be playing up. For some reason, we seem to have a bit of an issue here. And I can't work out why. Technology, eh? Where would we be without it? Yeah. I think it was Katie or Sue, I can't remember, put me on to a guy, and he uses, I'm unsure what radar he uses, but it's great. It shows you the trail of the flights, which is kind of what I was hoping to get on this, but you don't quite get it as to what I was expecting. So we might change that in the future. If I'm on it, it's probably going to mess with the audio because it tends to do that. So you can move it about, which is pretty cool. It's like a promotion for Flight Radar. In fact, it's terrible. Don't get it. But I found it quite interesting. And it was with it being like, I think, free for 7 days and then £1 a month or something like that. I kind of thought, well, I can maybe manage that, right? But we'll jump off the Flight Radar for the time being. So that's where you are. Cool. I wonder if we can zoom in a bit and see where you're at. What is it? Is it a big place that you're in? Sycamore Creek Park. Is that where all the sycamores are? I take it. What are we going to call this? I don't know what trees that Sycamore Park. That'll do. Quite right. Quite right. Looks like there's a lot of trees though. A lot of green. Green grass. Yeah, it's interesting looking at different towns and nations. I mean, it's completely different layout from where I stay. What would these be like? A suburb? A scheme? We would call it a scheme, right? Would this be deemed to be a suburb? This is probably Justine's house we're at. Ah! Like we can see her waving. So yeah, it's very American looking, I must say. Even the road and leading off to different wee communities. Yeah, it's interesting that. You can tell it's not been built when the towns have been built here. They're also the ones here are sort of thrown together. Yep, go with it. That'll do until you get into the new villages that they're building, which are a wee bit more like this. And I guess built for, well, 15-minute 15-minute neighborhood, which is maybe what that could be, right? Yeah. Blue Jacket Circle. That's a cool name, that, right? That would be the street to stay. Blue Jacket Circle. I like it. Yeah, pretty cool. Doesn't look like a bad place to stay. Yeah. Yes, check us checking out where people stay. Where do you stay? Come on, we'll check it out. Oh, here's a guy coming in. Is that the guy we was looking at? I think it was. No, it's not. He's tanking, right? He's like, I'm in a rush. I've got to go. Ponds, Metro Park. So is it a pond or is it a park? Oh, park is in forestry park. Interesting kind of landscape here. Greeny. Like mossy. Like a mossy kind of grass, that, right? Interesting, that. I wonder if it's almost like this was water at one point. More water. Maybe it was. Maybe Justine will know. She'll certainly know a lot more than me about it. Another guy coming in. Yeah. Cool. Pretty cool. We've not got much time now, but maybe if we get on before, we can look at a few more places that people, if there's anything of interest. Amsterdam. I didn't realize how close to Amsterdam you were. There you go. You learn something new every day, right? Ohio. Fantastic. I feel like I've been there now. That's about as close as I'll get. I don't even think they would allow me into. I don't think I would get the visa for America due to my criminal record of violence, and I think there's a racial abuse charge which would probably get me stopped from don't fly over Bermuda Triangle. A racial police assault, threatening a police officer, breach of the peace, resisting arrest. I think that's pretty much it. I remember one of the times I got arrested. It was in the paper. I shouldn't laugh. And it said, Murray pub goer threatens to kill police. Of course, me drunk, a young white male, full of, I don't know, alcohol, poison. Not happy, and then just basically pushed about by the police. And of course, that just sets you off. and then that's it. Your bread and butter to them. And yeah, I mean, fuck, they had the cheek to bloody charge me for anything, to be honest. Maybe resisting arrest, yeah, but they assaulted me on numerous occasions, but who am I against them, right? Nobody. That was when I was a teenager, well, probably from about maybe 13, 14, until about 20, 21. Just a tearaway, misspent youth. Catching up on it now, or it's catching up on me. One or the two, right? One or the two. So we'll jump out of the flight radar if I can work the screen. And we'll call it a night because we're way way into the. Yeah, it was nice to see you, Justine. Next time you'll have to get the coffee on, right? We'll get a coffee next time. Yeah, it felt like we stopped by. So if there's anybody else next time, we can have a look, and if there's any geographical stuff that we can look at, that would be cool, right? So on Saturday, I will be back again. Let me see if I can take this away. Ta-da! So on Saturday, UK time, 6 o'clock, we should be here. It'll be on the original channel. And it'll be a great stream. I can't say that because it won't be just me. Well, I'm hoping it won't be. Fingers crossed, right? Everybody's. So yeah, it's all good to go. As far as I know, we'll get it done, and we'll take it from there. Then on the Monday will be 9/11, and then I think maybe after that it'll be the Knights Templar stream, and then I don't know. That's about as far. That's about as far as we've got to. Maybe then we'll look at getting a guest on again. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there, right? I put up a few more short videos. Some of them got, I mean, it was quite a surprise to me because I don't expect any videos to get any views, to be honest, but people seem to be mad for the short videos, right? I think one of the videos got like 6,000 views in like 20 hours. And I was like, what the heck? How many times do people watch one of these clips? About 100 times? And I thought, that's the way it's going to be. That's kind of the... Let's face it, it's already here. That's kind of the future of content creation in short form. People are going to look back or look at videos, long videos, like the ones I mostly make, in time, in a not too distant time, and it's going to look old to them. It's going to look like it's old and out of fashion, and not what they want, not what their brain wants. They want instant TikTok fashion content. And we're already there. We're there. That's the fast-paced world that we're in. Our brains have become that pretty much. I mean, I'm not saying us because I don't think it's so much us. I think we're more old school. I think it's more my sort of generation, and the ones below me, even worse. Fucking insane. Some of them, man. I mean, yeah, because I'm classed as a millennial, which is quite funny to me. I remember when my wife told me that I was deemed a millennial, I was like, nah, no way, man. No way. I am not fucking buying that. And she was like, nah, look, this is when it's from until. How can a millennial be in the 80s, man? But there you go. Hey, we're all human. It doesn't matter when you was born. But it's the world around us that seems to program us in a certain way. Even down to what we think, what we eat, what we want to watch. So the shorts is more entertainment focused, but we can drop our own views in there as well, our own opinion. And to be honest, the projections going by that, I mean, that could be quite a big channel, that. Going by the views it's had already. I mean, even when my original channel was doing well, it was nowhere near the views that are getting picked up there, man. And it's the subscribers it's not even got 300 subscribers, and it's outviewing anything that I've ever done before. I mean, it's insane. So maybe there's something to that. I don't know. I can't put that. I can only put time into certain things at one time. I can only work with the tools that I've got. So I'll try my best to spread it out as even as I can. But obviously the main focus is kind of the original channel and the live streaming. But the views, when it comes to views, that's not here. That's not even on the original channel. That'll be if you put stuff into short form, then you can get big viewship. But I mean, for me, it's not even about that. Well, if it was about that, I would have parked it in. I would have probably parked it in because it's never been to a big extent. But the main reasons has been the enjoyment I get from content creation, and the over time, the kind of relationship that we've built up together, the community that we've got. Going back to like what I was talking about with John, and I mean, I care about everyone without being too lovey-dovey. I love you. I do. I care about everyone, and I hope everyone does well and prospers and at least can be content in their life and not worry too much about the world that we're in, because we're not fooled by the world that we're in to an extent. We're certainly not fooled by the powers that be. Yeah, the Manson video, I'm gonna hopefully maybe, let me think. I'm off tomorrow, I'm off Friday. Maybe Friday. If I can get it done tomorrow, because I've basically got an idea of how part 2 is gonna go. So I might put out part 2 to the Charles Manson video. And it's a case, I mean, I've heard about it. I know about Manson a wee bit. I've watched some of his interviews, but I'd never really looked into it, deep dive. So I've came from a sort of new, fresh sort of stance on it. And straight away, man, I do not buy it. I do not buy it, man. The whole race war thing was the first thing I thought, wait, what? A race war? A race war? Yeah, the guy never said a racist thing, ever, in anything that I've seen. And they were talking about a race war? Well, there was no race war going on. People never even knew the people were dead until the maid found them. And another weird thing was the eyewitness, well, not an eyewitness, but the next door neighbor. And the interviewer at the time said, oh, the gate's got a bell on it and you can hear it every time it opens. Fuck, the whole canyon can hear it because it rings, echoes, basically. But you didn't hear it that night. But they seemingly went in and out. So there's a lot of stuff that doesn't... before I even started looking into it to any great extent, if I can even say that. None of it sat right. Honest to God, none of it feels right. It's one of these cases where I think, nah, something's not right here. So we'll look into it, and we'll get part 2, and we might do a part 3 because there's a lot, right? I mean, the guy's not here today, but there's so much to cover. So we'll call it a night. Thank you very much, Justine. I've got a lot of respect and time for Justine. And hey, people here already know Justine also creates content. The best kind of content, which straight from the heart, the rawest form of content, the most original form of content creation, and even entertainment, straight from the heart, straight from the hip. You cannot beat it. And we love it. So thank you, Justine, and thank you for the shout out. I remember, and I mean, I was so shocked, man. I'd woke up and I was getting ready, and I looked on my phone, and I had a notification from Justine had posted a video, and I went on it. I went on it straight away, and I hadn't even read the title. And I was sitting there getting dressed, and I was listening. Well, I thought I was listening, but I don't think I was quite with it, because I picked up my phone and I looked I went straight to the comments. I tend to do that. I'm not even watching the video. I'm just looking at the comments and then going back to the video. But I went into the comments and I thought, what? Why is that? Why are people speaking about me? And then I realized that the video was a shout out to me. So it shows you how much attention I pay, right? I felt so stupid, and I was like blushing. Honest to God, it felt surreal. But I was very honored to get a shout out by such a wise person and such a beautiful soul. So it was very heartwarming, and it was like a gift to wake up to. So thank you very much. Even though I was a bit, it took me a while to quite realize what was going on. Honestly, I seen a comment and I thought, wait a minute, that's me. Someone's talking about me there. And then it clicked. I thought, maybe if I read the title of the video, that might help. Also, I'm not alone there as well. Cool. Yeah, straight to the comments. Who's the experts in the comments, right? You always get that on social media. Yep, let's go to the comments to see what the experts say. So thank you very much, Justine. It was heartwarming. That's the best way I can describe it. And yeah, I was straight on that when I seen the notification. Zoom, straight on it. Although it wasn't, the video had been out for a wee while, but I was late to the party. But yeah, thank you very much. And I highly recommend people check her out as well. So we'll call it a night, because I'll need to get to my bed. And then tomorrow I need to update some college stuff. And then I'm going straight on to, I guess, preparing for the stream on Saturday. And then once I'm kind of happy enough with that, I'll work on the Manson video when I get time. And hopefully that'll be out either tomorrow or Friday. Wait, tomorrow is Friday. So today or tomorrow, right? Because we're in early morning here. We went into 2 days. We've done that quite a few times. Started on the Monday, went until the Tuesday. Well. Hey, it's been great. I appreciate everyone joining. Very grateful for your time. The website, I don't know. I'll think about it. I mean, there's two sort of elements to it where it costs money. It costs me money, which I don't mind to an extent, but also if it's just me that's using it, I don't see the point, to be honest. So maybe there's not quite the need for it. So I'll revise it. I'll revise the website situation and have a think about it. If we need it, I'll certainly get it back. But in short, I don't think we do. So that might be the end of the website. I mean, I've tried my best to promote it and stuff like that, but I'm terrible at being a salesman, at pitching stuff. And I always feel like if you want to go, you'll go, or if you want to do it, you'll do it. So I don't want to put any pressure than what might be needed. Is there much need for websites today? I'm unsure. I'm really unsure. So what I'll do is I'll have a think about it. I mean, Gainer clearly uses it. Yeah, we've had issues with it sometimes as well. Yeah, the title said that, and I still never even noticed. Oh man, that's me all over that though. To be honest, just a complete idiot. What did I do there? What did I done there? I've seen something that do you know what? It's late. I've seen something that I hadn't seen before on the screen. Weird, right? Anyway, yeah, I'll have a think about it. Maybe going somewhere else, a different platform in regards to website hosting. Because it's still kind of trial and error. I think the website had improved greatly, but still wasn't quite where I ideally would have wanted it to be. So I'll reconsider. Well, I'll not reconsider, but revise where I'm at and take it from there and see what we can do, right? Because I think we could need it. We might well need it in time to come. You're not allowed to say very much, are you, on YouTube? So what can you do? So we will call it a night. Like I said, you can catch me on Saturday. Failing that, you'll catch me on Monday, right? And I should have a video out, one or two, before Monday as well. So hopefully I can catch you all then. I'll put an update. I'll put the stream on so you can set a reminder as soon as I can. That way there's no excuses. And don't have me chasing you, right? Because I will. So what I'll do is I'll grab a tune and we'll call it a day. Thank you very much, Justine and Gainer. I think it's just us now. It's just us, right? Remember we used to have Just Kate as well. It must just be Kate now. I always found it funny how people would put just in front of their name. But not like how you've got Justine, but like just Dave or just Simon. Let's go with that. Where's Simon as well? Was Simon here earlier? Maybe I missed him. Philippic. Maybe I did miss him. Just William. Yep. Just? What do you mean just? Eh? Take that back. Certainly just William, right? The only one that gets a just is Justine. Just Justine. There's a superhero movie in that, right? Definitely. So, can I find a tune? What's it going about? I think we might go down the Scottish route. The Scottish route. Aye. Yeah, why not? Okay, the new and all that, right? Okay, the new. That's my Scottish voice. My pretend Scottish voice. I shouldn't, right? I shouldn't. The Earl, yeah, I was thinking maybe the Earl of Murray. Yeah, I like it. It's a good way to end the night, and it's not too heavy. It's not too heavy, a nice way to see it out, right? And of course, yeah, it's a duck. So there's actually 4 of us. There's me, Gainer, it's a duck, and Justine, the hardcore. The hardcore Talbanoki, right? So yeah, there's certainly a lot more in the pipeline, and I'm far from done. I mean, I'm gonna keep going as long as I can. And I'll keep you updated on my college as well. Which is gonna take a lot of time. I'm gonna have to dedicate a lot more time to it. Um, and yeah, there's lots to get into with that actually. Lots. So there's plenty to come yet, okay? Is what I've basically got to say. And yeah, I'll be live on Saturday and on Monday. So if I don't see you, remember, no matter what, never, ever, ever, ever live in fear. Do not do it. It's gone, eradicated, non existent, genuinely non existent, not even extremely rare, but non existent. You don't need it. You simply don't. And don't let anybody get in your way, no matter who they think they are or who they think they might be. You don't let it happen, right? And like I always say, anyone remember? Because I forgot. How could I forget, right? I couldn't forget the very end. If I do, then yeah, I've been replaced. He didn't say the normal bit at the end. He's been replaced by the AI bot. Let's not go there, right? He's an AI bot. Sure, if only. So yeah, like I always say, no matter what, no matter where, do not comply. And that is about it. Bye-bye.